Okay guys, we'll define settings for ledgers and currency types by path. Okay, I'll enter here SPRO, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting,
We can't see the screen, sir.
okay. Is it clear, sir? No.
Yes, sir.
Okay. To define settings for ledgers and currency types, we use path. Okay. I enter the transaction code SPRO, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting global settings. Okay. Ledgers, define settings for ledgers and currency types. Okay. I click on execute option. Continue. Guys, for all, we take leading ledgers in real time also. OL, it was leading ledger. Okay, now I will copy it. And next step will go for company code settings for the ledger. Okay, we'll go to the position and we'll enter our company code. Okay, anyone please tell me what is the company code we are using? Anyone please tell me what the company code we are using? Yes, okay. Here it was, sir. Guys, here we has to mention fiscal year variant as well as posting period variant. Okay, anyone please tell me if you will not give, okay, for your ledger group fiscal year variant and posting period variant, what will happen? Okay, leave it guys. Why we create fiscal year variant? To know what the accounting period we are following. And we use posting period to open the particular posting period of particular document, particular account type. Okay, now I'll select it. Guys, for non-leading ledger and for extension ledger, you guys has to compulsory you has to mention fiscal year variant as well as posting period variant. Otherwise, it will throw error. Okay, now I'll select this and I will define accounting principle. Okay, to my company code. Now I'll go with the new entries. Here, my country was okay. I'm operating from India. When I created company as well as company code, I has taken India. So I'm selecting local gap. Then click enter. Okay, local gap. Now I'll save it. Guys, please wait for a second. Okay. Define ledger and accounting principles code. Okay, now just we are done with the leading ledger. In S4HANA, who has to mention as per our requirement, as per our client requirement, who has to mention non-leading ledger as well as extension ledger. Guys, this non-leading and extension ledger we use in extra. Okay, but I'll tell you one example, guys. Our country was operated and registered from India, and we has to follow here accounting principle, local gap. Now I want to do business in America. Now I was to follow the particular country's accounting principles. So for non-leading ledger, I'll choose the particular country's gap or whatever accounting principle it was. And for extension also. Okay. So in extra of this leading ledger accounting principle, we follow some other countries accounting principles to do the business in the particular country. There we prepare the financial statements and we present the financial reports to the particular countries, okay, where we are doing the business, to the countries register of companies. Okay, now OL leading ledger we are defined. I'll come back. Okay, I'll go to ledgers. Okay, for non-leading ledger, okay guys, for non-leading ledger we has to mention underlying ledger. For non-leading ledger we has to mention underlying ledger. Okay, I'll select I'll copy one data and I will convert to my as per my convenient. My company code was ES, so I'm mentioning ES non-leading ledger. For my company code it was 12 ES. Okay, I will click enter, copy all. Okay, and I'll copy extension ledger and I will mention it as 1E. My company code 12 ES. One E no digit can be used for first character of the ledger. SE otherwise. E1. E support SU. Copy all. Okay, we created ES and SU is leading ledger, sorry, non-leading ledger as well as for extension ledger. ESSU. Continue. Okay, now I'll select this. I'll go to company code settings for ledger. Okay, it was taken automatically. Yes, 1 to yes. Okay, I'll mention accounting principles. Okay, I'll go with the new entries. I'll mention here IFRS gap. Now I will save it. Okay, I'll go to the ledger. I'll mention years and I will copy it and company code setting for the ledger. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. One more time. I'll create non-leading ledger. Where it is years. Okay, I'll go to the new entries. I'll mention here SP non-leading ledger. Now I'll click enter. Now I'll save it. Okay, I'll select this and I will go to company code setting for the ledger. Okay, I'll go with the new entries. I'll give my company code 1 to ES and I'll select a fiscal year variant. It was ES now. April to March for special period and posting period variant. It was 1 to ES. Okay, I'm mentioning here accounting principles as IFRS gap or accounting principles. Okay, I'll check, guys. Okay, I'll select IFRS. Otherwise, I'll select Indian accounting standards. No problem. Okay, I'll click enter. Now I'll go to here. I will select AS accounting standards. Okay, we define three types of ledgers. Okay, and we assign that accounting principles. Conversion currency conversion setting for company code. Now we are going to it. Okay, we'll go with the new entries. Here we'll mention our company code 12ES. Okay, currency type I'll select group currency. We'll select currency INR. Okay, source currency, the company code currency. Change rate type. I will select M standard translation rate average rate. Translation date. We'll select document date. Okay, now I'll click enter. Okay, now I will save it. Okay, now we check if there are any inconsistencies. Okay, with respect to our currency or ledger settings. Okay, then we'll do the document splitting. Then we'll directly move to the creation of GL. Then we can post the entries. Okay, data was saved. Come back. Okay, financial accounting global settings. Okay, general ledger, financial accounting. Okay, general ledger accounting, master data. Here it was business. Okay, it was for document splitting. Just to give me a second, guys. Okay, no problem, guys. Still no, there is no errors. Okay, well, we created it was stored just yellow symbol. Actually, I forgot this path. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, no No problem, tomorrow I will show you. Now we'll do the document splitting. Master data business transactions.
Sir, general accounting, business transactions, sir. General accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions.
Okay, ma'am.
Business
Classify GL.
transactions.
My chart of account it was 1 2 years. I'm thinking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'll go with the transaction code /OOBD4. I'll go to the position and I will enter my chart of account ECOC. Guys, under balance sheet you can see assets as well as liability. Under balance sheet you guys can see assets as well as liabilities. So here what I was choosing, what was there in the blue mark, yellow mark, it was related to balance sheet item. Okay, the number it was from 1 lakh to 3 lakh 101. Okay, I'll take a 1 lakh as starting point. I'll go with the new entries here for document splitting. The last number was 300100. Okay, category and selecting here balance sheet account. Okay, 01000. Now we'll take expenses related from account and to account. Okay, here you can see secondary cost, operational cost as well as non-operational cost. Okay, three types of cost you can see here. This costs are related to expenses, only expenses. Okay, now I'll check here 4 lakh to 4 lakh 200. Okay, it was related to operational as well as non-operational expenses. 4 lakh to 4 lakh 200. I'll select here category as expense 20,000. Now here I'll select secondary cost. It was 6 lakh to 6 lakh 100. Okay, secondary cost also related to expenses. Okay guys. Okay, we are done with the balance sheet as well as expenses account types. Now who has to do with the operational income as well as non-operational income. Okay, you can find here now. It was 5 lakh to 5 lakh 101. Okay, now I'll select it as income revenue 30,000. Okay, now I'll save it. Now we can create GL accounts in the transaction code FS00. Guys, I'll show you here. Guys, how many fields you guys can see here now? One, type or description, control data. Second one, create bank or interest. Third one, keyword or translation. Fourth one, information. Fifth one, and sixth, information. Okay, it was for chart of account and it was for company code. Now, if you take the transaction code FS00, if you create GL account master data at centrally, then you can see the 6 options how you can create GL master data. Okay, now one more T code I will use FSP0. FSP0. Okay guys, here we can create GL account. You can see here we can create GL account. At what stage we can create? We can create GL at chart of account level. And you can see here only 3 options: type out description, keyword translation and information. You can't find control data and create bank or interest options. If there were no control data, the created GL account, how it will be stored? Okay, and actually we want a field status group. You can't find when you create GL account at chart of account. Okay, there is other transaction code FSS0. It is to create chart of account at company code data. Okay, now you can see control data, create bank or interest and information, but you can't find type of description. With the help of type of description, we'll define the account group and we'll define, okay, what kind of the GL account it was. So when you create GL account master data at company code data or chart of account data, you can't find the complete information. So in order to create a GL account, we use the transaction code FS00. Okay, now we'll go to the transaction code FS00 and we first of all we has to change that company code while you create a GL account. Okay, now I'll create GL account. Okay, before creation of GL account, I will take the help of account group, GL account group. Now I will create retained earnings account. This retained earning account come under liability side. Okay, I'm assuming it has current liability and so I'm creating under current liabilities. You can see here current liabilities start with 3 lakh and ends with 3 lakh 100. So I'm selecting the first number 3 lakh. I'll change this company code. Okay. In order to create a GL account, we have 3 options. Okay, sorry, we have 2 options with the template and by using create options. Suppose if you want to check what the GL you had created, what the GL it was contained in control data or type of description or create bank or interest. Okay, you want to check it, then you will choose the option display. If you want to rewrite, if there is any error, if you want to rewrite, then you will choose the change option. Now I'm creating, so I'll select create option and account type I'll select balance sheet account and I'll select it as current liability, and I will create now retained earnings. Now I'll go to the control data, guys. Now I'll select, it was balance sheet account, so I'm selecting for balance sheet items. We'll select balances in local currencies only. For only balance sheet account, for only balance sheet accounts, for current assets, for current liabilities. Okay, I'm assuming it as current liability, so it will come under balance in local currency, so I'm selecting it. Okay, now if there is outstanding related, if there is payable item, then we'll select open item management. Okay, now it was not required and select sort key 001. What the GL I'm going to create, this particular GL will be stored as per the posting date. Okay, now I'll select 001, copy. Now I'll go to create bank or interest. I told you guys, when we created field status variant in OBC4, we had seen, okay, we had discussed why we require field status group. Okay, now I'm selecting G001 general. Okay, now I'll click enter. Now I'll save it. Okay, now it was good. Next one, we'll create zero balance clearing account. I'll take the next number. Now I'll go with the template. Reference account I'm taking 3 lakhs. Company code it was 12 years. Now click continue. Okay, you can see here the data was taken automatically. Earlier we had created retained earnings. It was when we create GL account master data with respect to template, by choosing the option with the template, it will take automatically all the data. It will copy all the data automatically. Right now I'm creating, okay, zero balance clearing account. Okay, now I'll go with the option control data. Okay, it was, okay, 001 G001. Now I'll save it. You can see here data was saved. Now I'll create bank. Guys, anyone please tell me, bank account come under current assets or current liabilities? Guys,
Current assets, sir.
Current assets.
current assets. So
Assets.
now I will create one bank account. Now I will create one bank account. Okay, now again I'll create bank account with respect, with the help of ZL account group. So I'm gonna create under current asset one bank account. So I'm selecting here the starting number from account 2 lakh. Okay, now I'll create one bank account. Okay, I'll go with the create option. Okay, we'll go to type out description. We'll take balance sheet account. Account group, I'm selecting current assets. In the short text, I'm mentioning SBI bank account. In the long text, I'm mentioning SBI bank account. Now I'll go to the control data. Okay. Here, bank account come under current assets. So I'm selecting here balance in local currency. sort key and selecting 001. Now I'll go with the create bank or interest. Guys, I told you, depends on the particular GL characteristics. We'll select field status group. Now I'll select G005. It was for bank account obligatory value date. Okay, and I'll click apply. Okay, now I'll save it. You can see here data was saved. And again I'll go to account group. Okay, now I'll create one non-operating expense account. I'll create non-operating expense account. Okay, I'll take this number. I'll go with the create option. Anyone please tell me what is non-operating expense and what is operating expense? Guys, anyone please tell me what is operational expense and what is non-operational expense?
Operative expenses included in production department, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Non-operational expenses related to additional expenses like salaries.
The expenses directly related to the main business are called operational expense, and expenses which are not directly related to main business is called non-operational expense.
Super, sir. Once again, please repeat it, sir.
The expense directly related to the main business is called operational expense, and the expense which is not directly related to the main business is called non-operational expense.
Okay, sir. Super, sir. Now we're gonna create a non-operational expense now. Okay. Now we'll go to type out description. Okay, I'll go to non-operational expense or income. I'll create here non-operational expenses account. And in the short text, I'll mention brokerage expenses. Brokerage expenses. Long text, I will mention brokerage account, expenses account. Now I'll go to the control data and I'll select sort key 001 and I'll go to the create bank or interest. I'll select here Z004. Okay, now I'll save it. Now we'll create one primary cost. Guys, anyone please tell me what is the difference between primary cost and secondary cost? What is the difference between primary cost and secondary cost? Guys, please keep in mind the cost which are directly related to production of the finished good we call primary cost, and when it comes to secondary cost, the cost which are indirectly related to your finished product, to that we call secondary cost or overhead, and we'll allocate this secondary cost or overheads by taking different factors. Okay, now we'll create one operation. Okay, under operational expense we create one primary cost. I go to create option. type of description, primary cost, account group, operational expense. Okay, here short text I will mention purchases account. Purchases account. Okay. Now I'll go to control data. Here, not required anything. I'll go to sort key 001. Guys, actually here who has to get one more option. Cost. Actually, we has to get here one more option. It was cost element. Okay, now we are done the configuration related to FI part. So that is the reason here you can't see the cost element option. Okay, for primary cost you can see here cost element for primary as well as for secondary cost. Okay, for only operational expense as well as for secondary cost you can find one more additional field. Okay, in order to make it easily understandable, okay, we are not done any configuration related to CO. Okay, now I'll go to create bank or interest and I'll select here primary cost. Okay, I'm purchasing raw material, so I'll select here Z004. Now I'll click enter. Okay, data was saved. Now we'll create one secondary cost. Now we'll create one secondary cost. Now again I will go to account group. Okay, it was secondary cost 6 lakhs. Okay, I'll click on create option. I'll go to type of description. Here I'm gonna create secondary cost, so I'm selecting the secondary cost and account group secondary cost. I'm mentioning here salaries account and GL account long text salaries account. Now I'll go to control data and I'll select here sort key 001. Then I'll go to create bank or interest and now we'll check with the field status group. I told you for average GL depends on its characteristics. We have certain field status group. For secondary cost it was SECC. I'm selecting it. Now I'm saving. Till now we are done all the types of GL master data, master account, but we are not created any capital account. Now we'll create it. Okay, we'll create two types of share capital accounts. One is equity and second one is preferential share capital. Copy it. Okay, we'll go the type of description. I'll select here balance sheet account and account group. It was share capital. Now I'm gonna create equity account. Okay, I'll go with the control data. Guys, here we'll select create a share capital account. Okay, here we'll select sort key 001 and field status group G001 and a create bank or interest. You can find here field status group G001. Okay, now I'll save it. Now we'll go with the template option, and I will mention here 1,01,000. Continue. Okay, you can see here equity share capital, so I'm changing it to preferential share capital. Okay, and everything was same. Control data sort key 001 and create bank or interest field status group J001. Now we'll save it. Okay, guys, now you can see when we created equity share capital and fields and preferential share capital, we triggered yellow message, error message. If you get error message, okay, it will be validated. You can post the entry, but you has to correct it. Now I will make some adjustments. Okay, now I will click on change option. Now I'll go to control data. Here I'll select only balance in local currency. Now I'll save it. Earlier when I saved this same GL account, we are not selected balance in local currency. At the moment we triggered one error message in yellow color. Okay, we'll change for equity share capital also. Okay, just wait guys. Just I'll mention here capital account, and now I'll save it. You can see here it was triggering warning. Okay, to do some changes while we are creating GL master data. You can find here, you can check here one warning. Okay, but you can save it. It was throwing the message. Okay, I'll click cancel. Now I'll go to control data. Sorry, I have to click on changes. Okay, now I'll activate balance in local currency. Now I'll save it. So data was saved. This is message, you can see it. Data was saved. Okay, guys. Regarding today's session, if anybody had any doubt, please raise your doubt, guys.